Hi, Stevie. Lovely to have you, man. Live from the Emirates, Steve Bernstein. Okay, here we go. Okay, gang, here we go. Let's get the show on the road. What we're trying to do here in this kind of 5-part series, and I have to tell you something, friends, it is a struggle for me because ultimately I would love to I know these classes, I want to go much deeper. I want to go much deeper with you all. But I know that, like, in order to give over a lot of this material, the material I'd like to give over in a certain extent, to do it over Zoom, it just does not do it justice. It really won't be able to do it justice properly for me to kind of try and do it over Zoom. So I'm going to teach a technique tonight. I'm really excited about that. But the reality is that a lot of the things that I would like to do, I prefer to do, is going to be a challenge to do it whilst over Zoom. However, the idea is that in these 5 sessions, and bearing on the weather next week, the weather might hold out. I don't know if Adam Levy's got his ears. Adam Levy's got his current the weather podcast or something. He's going to tell us that next Wednesday night's going to be nice. Because if it is good, obviously I want to try, with Boris allowing us, I do want to try and get outside again because I think it was really nice. Steve, what do you think? Last week? Yes, no, Mike? We had
especially with refreshment.
Yeah, the G&T. We had G&Ts and pina coladas outside, which were really, really nice. Anyone who's in England right now, take a look outside. The most incredible sunset going down in London. A beautiful apricot-coloured sky. Okay, so the idea is in these sessions that we're trying to do is taking the 5 books of the Torah, Bereshit, Shemot, Vayikra, Bamidbar, Devarim, and with each of these 5 books, we're using those as springboards, as themes, and ways for us to really kind of make steps in our lives to bring, I think, more calm to our lives, to bring more of a sense of connection to ourselves and a connection to our Creator as well. And we're using these 5 books as like I say, as springboards. Last week, we spoke, if you remember last week, the emphasis was from Bereshit, Genesis, and we talked about the idea of breath, about the concept of how God placed the breath into Adam, the first man, the first primordial man, received his life by Hashem breathing that life into him. It came from breathing. And therefore, we did quite a long meditation last week, and we spoke about the fact that the pathway, the soul flows through our body, the soul flows through breath. Okay, and we can make that choice by connecting to it, by focusing on breath. If you remember, I spoke about how in the world of mindfulness, anyone here ever done any courses of mindfulness? Anyone at all? Anyone mindful? Maybe yes, maybe no. But in the world of mindfulness, yeah, it's very much emphasis on going back to your breath, going back to your breathing. You know, anyone who may be interested, if you've got any friends at work or whatever that do mindfulness courses, they'll tell you that the emphasis is just on coming back to your breath. By the way, it's quite interesting. You think about when you come back to your breath, you take the center of gravity away from your head, where all your thoughts are flying around, right? All the thoughts that you kind of come into your head, you take that away and you put it back down into the center of your body, and you kind of almost bypass your mind, bypass all the chattering mind, the monkey mind. It's the Far East, they call it the monkey mind. In Eastern Europe, or the Hasidim, where they call it the horse, the mind of a horse, the horse mind. But the idea is, it's just like thoughts that are flying through your head constantly, thoughts that are going backwards, forwards, ebbing and flowing. When you breathe, it comes back to that center of gravity down here, and it allows you for that calm, it allows you for that sense of connection that we're all looking for, that we all need. Okay, and we are going to do today a breathing exercise. We're going to get into a breathing exercise in just a little bit of time.
Dov?
Yeah.
Practical question. Are we doing the meditation at the beginning or the end?
So I would like to do one in the middle because I want to use it as a springboard this time. I'm going to use it as a springboard. Is that okay? Why did you want to use it as a sleeping aid or non? Or
no, I want to go to the shop.
We'll get Amazon Deliveroo to send it to you, David. Whatever you want.
Okay, so
I'll get it. Hashem will send it to you. Don't worry, right, Steve? No. Hashem will get it to David. No, whatever he wants.
Is anybody looking out the window right now? This sunset. I feel like
I just announced that to the rest.
I know,
of
but I
just saw it. It's amazing. Yeah.
It's Hashem's obviously doing this sunset to accompany your class, Rabbi Dov.
I know, 100%. I actually phoned God earlier and just asked me to do me a favor. So he's very
This
kind.
is grey English sky for me.
You've got grey English sky. So Ben's in Muswell Hill with grey English sky. That's not cool. So
Yeah,
Ben, hopefully they'll move very soon. Emily's giving it to you. Emily's giving you the picture there, Ben.
Oh,
Emily's giving it to you.
oh, it's gorgeous, and I should have a better view here, but I don't.
Okay, Chevra. So let's move on. Let's move on with this. The second book of the Torah. The second book of the Torah. That sounds like the beginning of like some track, like some dance track. Second book of the Torah. Second book of the Torah. So the second book of the Torah is the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus. One of my favorite Bob Marley tracks of all time. Okay, so let's go, guys. What's the main theme of the book of Exodus, would you say? From what you might remember, what you might know from a cheder, from a class, what's the theme of the book of Exodus?
Jews exile out of Egypt.
Yeah, very good. Right, the Exodus coming out of Egypt. There's slavery. The Jews have to leave. Yeah, Emily, you're talking, but you're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah, I'm telling Sam not to lean so far out the window to take a photo.
Yeah, Sam, don't lean so far out there and take a photo. It's not worth it, mate.
Not worth it.
Well, they call it tombstoning. Wow, beautiful. That's so beautiful. Steve's got his picture as well. He's excited too. It's like, guys, let's everyone share your photos of like the pictures online, man. Okay, dude, let's just go back to this. Okay, fine. So the theme is Exodus. It's about leaving. It's about making that choice to take a step out of Egypt. And this is where it gets deep, guys. This is where it gets important. And you'll forgive me for some of the people that may have been to some of my classes before. I apologize, but I don't apologize that much. Okay. We know that the Hebrew word for Egypt is Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim is the word for Egypt. Etymologically, that means a big fat word, which means linking to the actual root structures of the word. Mitzrayim has its root, the word Meitzar. And Meitzar means a narrowness. It means a constriction. And in fact, the word for pain and suffering in Hebrew is the word tsar. And something is tsar, it's narrow, it's painful. Tsar li ma'od means it's very painful for me. Mitzrayim is the paradigm for constriction, it's the paradigm for pain, it's the paradigm for exile, it's the paradigm for darkness, it's the paradigm for all the negativity that we carry in our lives. Hence, the idea of leaving Egypt, the idea of Exodus, isn't just a historical event. It isn't just something that happened many years ago, but which we are living maybe on Pesach, on Seder night, depending on what your Seder night's like. Some people have like a nice kind of, exciting Seder night, some people a bit less. So yeah, it's much more than just a place at a time, but rather the Exodus from Egypt is actually something which we are looking to do our whole life. It's a life work to leave your Egypt, to leave your personal Mitzrayim, to leave the places in your life that are holding you back, that are constricting you, that are suffocating you. It's been so interesting, people's reactions to the whole COVID situation. For some people, it's been somewhat liberating. I found for many people who were single, for example, who don't have any other, kind of concerns, in some ways it's actually been nice, bearing in mind the financial issues. And, for many people, it's going to cause probably in the future some financial issues. Maybe it's actually been a chance to get outside, to get into nature, to get into cooking, and to get into all different types of new hobbies. But I think for many people, there's a sense of the going inside, the sense of being trapped, and the sense of suffocation that's come about it. I can't do the things I want to do. I can't go the places I want to go to. I can't live the life I want to live. And therefore, it's been a little bit of a Mitzrayim for all of us this whole period of time we've lived. Apart from Daria, who's sailing on a boat around the Italian islands, but apart from her, but the rest of us, it's been an element of constriction. We've got to be careful where we go. There are people who are ill, who are sick, that we can't, if we go too near it, could cause some problems for us. And hence, therefore, there's the Egypt physically. But I want to say there's also more than that. I think there's the Egypt in ourselves as well. There's things in our lives that are holding us back. They're holding us back. everyone, you know, I'm not hopefully not dating myself too much when I kind of use this example, but everyone I'm sure is familiar with Tom and Jerry, right? And there was always those things in Tom and Jerry where, like, you know, Tom would start chasing Jerry the cat and he couldn't run. Why not? Because the clever mouse, Jerry, had nailed his tail to the ground. Kind of remember that kind of image? Remember he's like trying to run, but he can't because his tail is stapled to the ground. His tail is nailed to the ground. And I think for so many of us, we're trying to get on in our lives. We're trying to get on in our relationships. We're trying to find a life partner to live with. Trying to find a job. Trying to find the serenity we want. But there's something holding us back. There's a nail which is in our tail, which is stapled to the ground, and we're trying to run and we can't run, and we just feel a huge frustration because we can't move on in our lives. So I know David's in the shop right now and he's going to kill me for this, but now was the time in the class that I wanted to start the meditation, because I want to use this as the kind of the springboard for the rest of the class. But because I love him and I think he's absolutely amazing and he's just such a tremendously special person, maybe I'm trying to think if I can put it in outside. Yeah, you know what? Okay, we're gonna do it later. So guys, we're gonna do something else instead now. We're gonna do a mini meditation now. Join me, okay? Sit comfortably wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Sit in a comfortable place. Yeah, make sure that you've got no distractions if you can, and there's no football or anything on. Just if you can, just stay with me. Okay, so now, close your eyes if you want. Take a big deep breath in through your nose. Just let yourself get calm. Your mind's going to race. It's okay. There's no judgment. Just breathing in through your nose. Hold for a few seconds and then breathe out again. Breathing in through your nose. Hold for a few seconds and then breathe out again. Breathing in through your nose, and as you breathe in, notice the air is cold, is cool as you breathe in. And then breathe out again, noticing the air is warmer, being warmed up as an interface with your own life, with your own being. Once again, breathing in, it's getting calm. Remember what we said. If you remember, the neshama, the word for breath, is at root the same word as neshama, which is soul. Try as much as you can to just come into this present moment. No matter what's happened today, no matter where you've been, what you've done, and no matter what might happen tomorrow, all you've got currently is this present moment in time. Just try and be in this moment. And just focusing on your breath will help you get there. So once again, breathing in through your nose, hold for a few seconds, and then breathe out. Just bring yourself aware of your body on the chair, feet against the ground, the room around you. Okay, beautiful. Just getting yourself a nice place of calm. Just feeling good, feeling calm right now. Amazing. Okay. So I want you to start visualizing. I want you to do a little visualization exercise with me here. I'd like you to visualize something in your life that you really want. Something in your life that you don't have right now, but that you really want to have. Okay? So there's no judgment at all here. You can choose whatever it is. I'm not going to ask you necessarily to tell me what it is. It'd be nice if we can share afterwards, we can say and share around a little bit. But if you don't want to share, that's also fine. So you can have the safety of knowing that you don't have to share this with everyone else afterwards. But is there something that in your life right now you really want? You really want that thing? Again, it could be something spiritual, it can be something physical. Whatever it is for you, that's fine. Just what is it that you really want? Okay, once you've got there, once you've got an idea of something is, be present with that just for a few seconds to get it clear, what it tastes like, what it smells like, what it looks like, what it feels like, that thing that you want. Okay. Now I want you to ask yourself the following question. What is stopping you from having that thing that you want right now? What is it that's stopping you, that's blocking you from having that thing right now? And again, your mind might be racing. Just come back to your breath. At any point in time you feel like your mind's racing a little bit, just come back to your breathing. But what is that thing? What is that, what is the obstacle? What's the blockage? What's the nail in the tail, so to speak? What is it that's stopping you, blocking you from having that thing that you want? Okay, beautiful. So take a few more deep breaths in. Just be happy and relax. It's cool. Everything's fine. Just take a few deep breaths in. And now just finally, I want you to now you know what that thing is and you know what the blockage is, what's stopping you. I want you to rate in your mind between 0 to 10, 0 being easy and 10 being difficult, just how hard it is to get rid of that blockage. How hard is it going to be to get rid of that obstacle? Rating it from 0 to being really easy and 10 to being exceedingly difficult to get rid of that blockage. Beautiful. And now when you're ready, just find yourselves coming back into the room. Slowly, slowly. Some big deep breaths. Fill yourself with air. Fill yourself with light and vitality. It's good. It's all good. We're all enjoying ourselves here. We're here to enjoy ourselves, I hope. Okay. Welcome to the show. Welcome back. 1 second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay. We're back in. Okay, fine. Okay, back in the room. If you can just put your stick the old cameras on again. That'd be very kind of you. To have you back in the room. Okay, so first of all, just to hear from you guys, anyone found that that exercise like really difficult, like very hard? It was a difficult thing to do, or just people found that easy? They enjoyed that. Did anyone actually enjoy that experience? Anyone actually have found that fun? David, you enjoyed it? Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Ben,
I enjoyed.
That was interesting, Ben. That was interesting exercise to do.
Which Ben?
So you're right. There's like 4 of you here. Sorry. That was to Ben Saunders actually.
It kind of reminds me when I was in PE, when I was like year 10, and because like half the boys had ADHD, they'd be like, "Okay, we need to calm you down. Everyone, let's get into meditation."
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? That was just my experience. So like we had to do it, but it kind of reminds me like that, but a bit better.
Okay, good.
I'm not in a PE hall. I'm in my bedroom, so it's probably a bit better.
Okay, so here's a story, guys. again, I don't want to. It'd be great if we can share, because I think the way that these classes work really well is when we can all share with each other. But I want to share here, like, potentially what that thing is that they really want, and maybe what it is they feel is blocking them and stopping them. It'd be really good if you could share that. Again, people shouldn't feel they have to, but it's always nice if you can. I think it'll be really helpful for us when I get to the next part of the class to hear from you guys first. Go on. Anyone want to be brave enough to share? Daria. Okay, Daria, good. Welcome to the show. Daria, go.
So the thing that I is a great job in which I'm really satisfied in helping others with the good things that I have, the skills that has given me, and the tools that I haven't discovered yet. And the difficulty that to reach that state of being useful, active, productive, being at service to others, and being a great leader, etc. It's probably the fact that I'm not grounded enough. So I love myself in the process. It's really hard for me to actually going from A to B straightforwardly. Sometimes I go to A, then I go to C, then I go to I'm not straightforward in and reaching my goals.
Okay.
So,
That's very cool. First of all, thank you so much. It's quite good there was a non-British person starting, because that's like British people generally find it hard to share in public. So it's good that, of course, an Italian went first. But that's cool. So what, just understanding, like, you want to, you have your image of what you want. It's the good job where you feel satisfied, where you're doing what you're meant to be doing. And you feel right now what's holding you back is that you don't feel grounded enough within yourself. You don't feel grounded. You're moving. Or again, that's not, you're talking about physically in terms of you're going from country to country, or you mean actually just within yourself, you don't feel
within myself, I always have something else coming up, and basically I put things in between that I want to solve between the point A and then I have many different things that I want to do, and I don't actually finish them or ground them.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Daria. That was really, really kind of you to share first. Thank you. Anyone else want to go and have a go at this? That'd be really useful. Anyone?
Can I?
Yeah, Ben, go for it.
10 seconds. So partly why I want to do meditation is because I don't want to access God through logic and just pure logic. I'd rather sort of be able to connect with God on a more individual level, because at this point in my life I don't feel anything, even though I believe in God.
So you're saying, so that's your want. Your want is to connect on a higher level. That's what you're wanting.
Yeah, like to be able to feel the presence of God.
And what's holding you back?
I don't know. Maybe I haven't tapped into the spiritual side yet. I'm more of like a doer. Like I don't really feel anything. Like if I rap to fill in, or if I dabble, I just do it. Doesn't really do anything for me.
That's really powerful. Thank you, honestly. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's really interesting. So you want to connect on a very individual level. You want to connect in a way which makes sense, sort of by not making sense.
Yeah.
And right now you're saying what's holding you back is it's not the kind of person you can't at this stage. You don't have the, what we call the kalim, you don't have the vessels to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Emily, yeah, you have your hand up. Go for it, Emily.
I've kind of been avoiding this for the last few months because of COVID, but I really want to find a new job that I love, because I'm very miserable in my current job. And I'm a bit, because I'm so because my job drains all my energy and makes me really unhappy, I don't have any energy to find a new job. And I'm also a bit scared to move jobs now because of a potential financial downturn. So I really just need to invest 100 hours in research and actually make the jump. So I'm basically just leaving myself in this situation where I'm so miserable in my job, and I know there's a solution, but I'm too lazy to do anything about it. And I'm blaming it on COVID, but
Okay, right. So this is good stuff. Okay, so what you're wanting is the job, a new job, and it's just no energy, lazy. It's the out. It's just lots of things happening. Means you feel like you can't move on.
Thing, no, it's just constant. Ugh, can't be bothered.
All right, got it. Got you loud and clear. Okay, anyone else want to share something? Anyone? Maybe one last opportunity just to share, and then anyone? That's one of those things like just scanning a zoo. It's so hard. Like normally when you're in like a classroom, you can see people's faces. You can say who really does and who really doesn't want to share. Like Serena, when Serena's like with that face, like I really can't be sure if she's waiting for me to ask her or not. I just can't tell with Serena. But now I just know she's like, no, don't ask me, don't Ramadan. So I'm not going to go. Anyway, Luffy's grabbing the screen, which means that he's going to go for it. So Luffy, go for it. You're grabbing the screen, so let's go.
I wasn't going to share actually on this one, was I?
Okay, fine. Don't feel like
I was just trying to scroll across because everybody's at the bottom of the screen, and I was trying to work out who you were talking to.
Here we go.
I wanted to see Serena's face, basically.
Okay, so let's go. Let's have one more person. One thing. Okay, is that Susie coming on the video to speak? Go for it, Susie.
Well, I wasn't going to speak, but mine is kind of job related as well.
Okay.
I also don't really like my job and I want to find a new one. But I think the main thing that's holding me back is that I really don't know what kind of job would make me happy. And then the more I think about it, the more I get confused. So then I just end up putting it off.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, I'm actually, these answers have been so helpful and so insightful. Now, obviously, the majority of people didn't share, and that's fine. Again, I didn't say you had to share, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was a certain, I think, theme that comes along with these questions we ask ourselves. Ultimately, we want to be happy. That's what kind of came through what everyone was saying. They want to be happy. The only one was different to that. The only person that gave like a different answer to that was Ben Saunders, and he's new to self-fitness, and that's cool. So we love that. So welcome, Ben. Yours, the only one was just like a little bit different. You were talking about you want to get a connection with Hashem, but it seemed like everyone else's answers were like kind of related to I want more happiness in my job. I want my fulfillment in my job. I'm looking for happiness. And I think, by the way, I say this very often. If you would do like a test, and you would go down to like Liverpool Street Station or to Golders Green Station.
I'm on a call. I'll phone you back.
Yeah. And I was like, ah. So you would go to like a Golders Green Station on a busy morning, or to Liverpool Street Station, or to, I don't know, go to the middle of Westfield for Steve in the middle of the day, and you'd ask people on a survey saying like, what are you looking for? Or what most people in the world are looking for in their life? And they would say most of the time something along the lines that would basically translate as happiness, because we're all looking to be happy. We all want some sort of happy, want some sort of joy. Now that translates in different ways for different people. Some people see joy through service, some people see happiness through giving, happiness through chesed, happiness through, I don't know, through family, through football, whatever it is. But everyone ultimately is looking to be happy. They're looking for happiness. They're looking for fulfillment. And they're looking to get a better experience of life, a stronger and more happy experience of their daily living. That's what most people, I think you'd say, are looking for in their lives. Now, here's the thing. When you would ask most people what's holding you back, and I'm using this kind of conversation as a bit of a litmus test for this. When you ask most people, you say, what is it that's holding you back? Most of the time, the answers are going to be external factors. So it's going to be the job market's not ready yet, or the people I live with are, giving me trouble, or the person I married isn't, who I thought it was going to be, or it's going to be things like, my financial situation, or it's going to be the education I received, or it's going to be the experience I've had till now. So everything, almost all the time that we are sort of framing our everyday experience is through external experiences, external factors that are going to have the impact. The only person that was a little bit coming away from that, obviously, was Ben's answer, but also Daria, your answer was a little bit more, I'd say the way you kind of, put it was that you're kind of aware of like an inner world in terms of like something going on inside. But I think for many people, and again, don't nod or don't not nod, it's up to you, but you know yourselves what you were thinking when I asked you what you want and what's holding you back. And most of the time it's because someone else isn't doing something that I want them to do. So whether it's in relationships, you know, that I haven't found the right person yet because that person hasn't come into my life, or why can't I find the right person? Why can't I find the right girl? Why can't I find the right guy? Why can't I find the right house to live in? Why can't I find the right job to be in? So there's so many things that are sort of external to us that we have and we see as the barriers to the joy that we need in our lives. Can I ask, does that resonate with people? Again, it's so hard on a screen to know what people are thinking. I'm just seeing faces. You have to help me here, guys, right? Does that make sense? Most of the time, it's like something else.
Yeah.
Something
Can
else.
can I say something?
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people try to focus on materialistic things that they think would make them happy, even though that would take away aims that would be more productive to them in the long run. For example, like I have a lot of people in my family who've been quite successful and they've had good jobs. And at the end of it, my grandfather and both my grandfather and my father, my grandfather's my mom's dad and my dad's my dad, they both said to me, the best thing they've ever had is having children and having good friendships and having people around them. And nothing else can trump that.
Right.
And that sort of can put things into perspective of where one's priorities should be
100%.
in terms of what they want.
Well, it's very interesting. That's a great point, Ben. And also, I think, you know, it's very interesting when you freeze frame. You know, let's think about most of us doing in our daily experiences. Most people are kind of in the job market in order to have financial security and to earn enough money to be able to have the financial security you want. But we can get sucked up in that, and we can go chasing the dragon of materialism. But if you would freeze frame and ask any of us, what do you truly value? What do you truly want? Yeah, you're going to say things like friendship and love and relationship. You know, what do they say? There's a really interesting line I once heard someone say, that you're never going to meet someone on their deathbed and ask them what they regret, and they're going to say, I wish I'd spent more days at the office. Or they're going to say, I wish I'd spent more days at the Emirates, or I wish I spent more days, that's for Steve, I wish I'd spent more days at Brent Cross at Westfield. Like, no one's going to turn around and say, I wish I spent more time, you know, kind of, you know, chasing materialism. Most of them say, I wish I spent more time with friends. I wish I spent more time with family. I wish I spent more time, you know, kind of building deep, powerful relationships. But that's very powerful, Ben. Thank you. So what I want to relate this back to, the paradigm shift I want to work on with us tonight is that, and I will hopefully be able to deepen this. And like I said, there's so much to go here. There's so much to do here. And I felt that it's a little bit, I'd love to do more in person. But if I would just kind of put it into one, to encapsulate it in one sort of model, I would say it's like this. We are so used to outside in thinking. We are so used to outside in paradigm. And by that, I mean that it's everything on the outside which is making the effect on my life. Everything outside is going to make me happy. And we have to move from outside in to inside out. We have to go from outside in to inside out. Because, and this is what's going to come out in today's class, what really truly makes me happy, what's truly going to give me the satisfaction of my life, what's going to truly help me break out from my Egypt. Remember, we're in the book of Shemot here, we're talking about what's going to get me out of my Egypt is inside me. It's not outside of me. It's inside me. The keys are inside me. There's a great story, and I apologize to Luffy and maybe Emily and a few others may have heard me tell this story before. But Karen, ça c'est la première fois que vous avez entendu cette histoire. C'est une histoire quelque chose de spécial, okay? Okay, this is one of my favorite stories of all time. There was a man called, a huge, incredible man called Mendel Futterfass, who was captured by the Russians. He was a Jewish guy who refused to shave his beard, and in the Soviet era, and he refused to give up his Judaism. And he was captured and he was put into a Siberian prison cell in the time of Soviet Russia. Okay, and he relates a lot of stories of what happened to him when he was in the Soviet prison. He was finally released with the help of, I think, there was the President of America and the Prime Minister of England helped release him in, I think, the late 60s. But this man was in a Soviet prison, and he tells the following story, true story. Says that there was a in the big cell, there were loads of guys in the cell, and there was a pack of cards. Someone had a pack of cards in that cell, and they were playing cards, which was completely legal. You weren't allowed to have cards in the cell. And the sort of the prison, the jailer, whatever better was, the general, whatever he was, he knew that there was a pack of cards in there. He knew that somebody had this pack of cards, and he knew they were playing illegally. And what he would do is he would come into the cell and he would say, right, where are the cards? You know, everyone stand in line, open your hands, right? And he would go through every single person, and he would search every single person in the cell, and he couldn't find the pack of cards. And it just absolutely ate him up because he knew there was a pack of cards in there. He knew there was in there, but he could never find it. So he would go in each time until finally the day came where he was ready to leave. He had another job in another jail. He got, promoted to a better jail. So he was going off to this jail, and he walked into the cell and he said to everyone, they said, listen, guys, just want to let you know, I'm leaving. And I just need to know, he said, I'm not going to punish him. It's a complete amnesty here, no punishments at all. But I know that there's a pack of cards here in the cell. And please tell me what's going on. How come I never found the cards? So what happened was a man stepped forward and he said, sir, I need to tell you that I am a professional pickpocket. And what would happen is each time you entered the cell, I would get those cards and I would pop them into your pocket. And the whole time you were searching, everyone, the cards were actually in your pocket. And just before you left the cell, I would definitely put my hand in and take them out again, just as you left the cell. The guy was obviously completely bamboozled, and he left, and he must have given a smile or something, I don't know, but he left the cell. And Rav Mendel Fudafas said, this is an amazing life lesson. So much of the time we're looking outside. We're looking outside for the answers. We're looking outside for the salvation. We're looking outside for the girlfriend, boyfriend, outside for the happiness, outside for the joy, outside for something outside of myself. But really, the answer is actually inside. It's inside. It's inside every single one of us. So if you take a look here, what I've got is, I'm trying to, here. I'm screen sharing. If you guys take a look here, this is what I've written and put here. You can see there's the outside in approach and there's the inside out approach. The key is going to be moving from outside in to inside out. By the way, just so you should know, in the modern world of psychology, in professional psychology, people are recognizing this and they are realizing this. It's a great guy whose name is Sean Achor. Is it Achor? I don't know. But if anyone's heard of this guy, he's fantastic. Sean, does anyone know what it is? Is it Sean Achor or Achor? Silence. Okay, but he is a very accomplished psychologist. He's written some books. They're on Amazon if you want to get them. I saw a fantastic TED talk with this guy, Sean Achor. Okay, and this is what he has found through scientific research. Okay, he's found the following. Steve, do you want to read for us where it says case study happiness here? Go for it, Steve. Yeah, go. Steve, you there? Go for it, yeah. No, you don't.
Yeah, I couldn't find the unmute bit, sorry.
Yeah, fine. Go and read for us.
90% of your long-term happiness is predicted not by the external world, but by the way your brain processes the world. And if we change it, if we change our formula for happiness and success, we can change the way that we can then affect reality. What we found is that only 25% of job success are predicted by IQ. 75% of job successes are predicted by your optimism levels, your social support, and your ability to see stress as a challenge instead of as a threat.
Okay, this is just a short part of the transcript from a longer talk. This is the idea that in modern psychology, especially relating to professional positivity, we are seeing that your job successes are not going to be reliant on your IQ, your degree, what kind of university you went to. It's got nothing to do with that. You know, in fact, he gives an example there. He went to Harvard University, and he said that like they found that like 3 weeks into being in Harvard, almost all the students go from understanding the privilege of being in Harvard and feeling proud to just feeling completely stressed out and upset and challenged. And that goes them the whole way through their university experience. This idea of like, I'm completely stressed out. The first 2 weeks, it's wow, amazing, I'm in Harvard. And then I participate, and the whole rest of the time they're just completely stressed out, right? And he said that we're seeing more and more positivity in the workplace, a positive attitude, right? Optimism, social support, being stressed, a challenge, sort of effect. This is massive. This is a huge thing. You know, we can talk about this another one. Doctor called Dr. McGonagall. I think that's the name. Is that from Harry Potter? But, but I think this lady's name is something Kelly. I forgot her surname. It's something like Gonagall. And she did amazing research into seeing that it's not the stress which is a problem, it's how you deal with stress. That some people actually can deal with stress and it actually drives them forward in a very positive way, and they can actually perform better to a certain extent under stress. There's other people out there that stress just, they can't deal with it, and it drags them down, and they get heart disease and they get blood pressure and all these things. So really it's not the stress which is a problem. What we think the whole time, it's outside in, outside in. The stress is the problem, the situation is the problem. Actually going from outside in paradigm to inside out paradigm. You've got to, there's like Sam's, yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, there's okay, Sam, don't worry, we're not seeing anything. Okay, anyway, moving on, slightly more than that. Right, so, don't worry, nothing was said. So, outside in, inside out, it's all the same. Now, let's relate this now. Let's relate this just to one thing, happiness, okay? How are we going to truly be happy? So we see the happiness is going to be from the outside. If I have the right job, the right girlfriend, boyfriend, all these things are going to make me, that's what's going to make me happy. But no, the reality is what's going to make me happy is going to be a sense of purpose, a focus on why I'm here. Why are we in this world? What have you been brought in this world to do? You know, why did God create you, get your soul, pop it into your body, and chuck you into planet Earth in the year 1998? I'm guessing 98. Does that like make sort of sense for some people? I don't know. 1995. I won't tell you what year I was brought into this world, but it was a good year. It's a good year for Scotland. Okay, now, so what's the reason why you were born? What's your purpose? What are you here to do? Every single one has their own unique mission in this world. If you know what your mission is, right, then you can work towards it with everything you do. That's going to bring you the joy and happiness. And I want to use this paradigm, and I'm going to be using this from now on. It's my new thing. I was speaking to Gav Rubin. If you know Gav, we've been speaking about this a lot recently, and it's my own little new sort of way of speaking. So get used to it, guys. We're going to move from horizontal thinking, and we're going to go to vertical. We're going to move from horizontal to vertical. What I mean by that is we're going to move away from seeing externality and external things as being the control of my life, and we're going to move to vertical. And this is where Ben Saunders' comment comes in. We're going to start going vertical and start realizing with a more appreciation of God in our lives, of Hashem, understanding that your soul is pure and was pumped into you and is breathed into you, and that you have a pure soul. And there's nothing greater than understanding that, knowing that, being connected to that. That fuels you and charges you and gives you tremendous happiness, so that even in the darkest places, a person can have joy and happiness. Take a look at this beautiful quote from Rav Kook. Now, as you don't know Rav Kook, you should know he's my MVR, my most valued rabbi, who's the rabbi in, originally he came from Lithuania, Poland, and he was the first chief rabbi of this sort of pre-state Israel. He died before Israel became a state, but certainly one of the greatest rabbis that ever lived. Okay, take a look at this amazing quote that he has from his Sefer Oros HaKodesh, which means the light of holiness. Okay, it's a fantastic little quote that we've got here from Oros HaKodesh. And if it's okay with everyone, I hope you don't mind, but I do want to involve someone who's like kind of here but not here, and that's Adrian Cohen. Adrian, are you there, Adrian?
I am here, yes.
Right, so go for Adrian. Do you want to read for me? Yeah, go.
Yeah, a human being is a creature of desire, will, and his character becomes completely precise. His character becomes complete precisely through the nature of his will. His happiness is in the desiring of the good, the nature of his good and holy will, and through this, a person resembles his creator.
Pause there. Just again, Rav Kook's, his words are always very difficult, so they're hard in Hebrew, and even when you translate them, they're hard. What he's saying here is, human being is a creature of desire, and his character becomes complete precisely through the nature of his will. By the way, if ever you want to know about a person, who they are, guys, girls, when you're dating and you want to know what a person's like, ask them what they want. Ask them what they're looking for in their life. What's their desires? Not I'm talking not in a sexual way. I'm saying in a non-sexual way. You ask them, what's their desire? What are the things they're looking for? They really want. What do you really want in life? What do you really want? You cut it down. They'll say things, I want a nice house. Why do you want a nice house? Because I want to have comfort. Why do you want to have comfort? Because I like the idea of working hard, and I value the idea of celebrating what I've worked for. Why do you celebrate? You keep asking until the final, it's like an onion. You peel the layers until you get them with what is someone's desire, is really who they are, what they stand for. So he's saying here, you want it to be that your core, you want to resemble your creator. You want to resemble your creator. You want to be as holy as possible. Carry on, Adrian, you wonderful, wonderful man.
Not as wonderful as you, Dov. A person finds himself in great happiness, bereft of any sadness, when he recognizes that he only needs to direct his will towards the good. The thought that happiness is dependent on external things or beyond his grasp is a false notion which fosters depression. The upright-hearted ones are eternally happy.
Okay, this is what the bold thing there. This is gold. You are in a gold mine right now, ladies and gentlemen. The thought that happiness is dependent on external things or beyond his grasp is a false notion. By the way, just an aside, that's what most of the world thinks. Most of the world thinks that when you get this job, you'll be happy. When you get this promotion, you'll be happy. When you get this pay packet, you'll be happy. When you get this house, you'll be happy. When you get this lovely driveway, you'll be happy. When you get the right car in the driveway, then you'll be happy. When you'll be happy. I had a guy that came to JLE. I haven't seen him for a couple of years, but like he told me this is how he lived his life. You know, he went to primary school, and he always worked hard in primary school to get a good place in secondary school. And he worked hard in secondary school to get a good place in university, because he wanted to get a good place in university to get a good job. And he got his good job because he was always looking for his good promotion, because he always said, I'll be happy when I get the promotion. So it's always from nursery school till the age of 28, all he was looking for was that final promotion to be whatever it was, right? And he worked up and worked up and worked up and worked up. He got to the good university. He got the job in that firm. He made his way up the ladder, and he finally got that promotion. He got that promotion, and he told me, I was learning with him, we spent a lot of time together, and he told me he got that promotion, and he came home and he felt completely empty, because he'd finally got to that top of the rung, and he didn't feel any different. He didn't feel any more happy than he had before. He finally got to that place, but he didn't, it lacked the substance, it lacked something real. He didn't have that happiness in his life. So it says Rav Kook, the thought that happiness is dependent on external things or beyond a grasp, that is a false notion which fosters depression. Really, the uprighted heart ones are eternally happy. And the uprighted hearts, right? Lev Yashar, he's talking about here. That is my mind, the vertical paradigm versus the horizontal paradigm. Uprighted hearts, when you go vertical, when you go up, when you realize that inside you have this neshama tahara, where you have this pure soul, that they say tovli kirvas elokim, the thing that soul wants more than anything else is God consciousness. It wants a connection with its creator, and everything flows out from that. When you feel centered, when you feel that you're powered, when you feel that you've got that connection to Hashem that Ben actually says he wants. Don't worry, Ben. Today's not the class where we're gonna that doesn't happen overnight. Just to allay your fears. You're not gonna there's no matrix, there's no download button. It takes time, and we'll work through it together. Okay, don't worry, it's a thing. But it really is that the belief, right? You believe what you perceive. And you perceive what you believe. It's an amazing thing that you, as you go through life and you start seeing more of the goodness in life, you start seeing more of your godly potential, you start to grow and understand that true happiness comes from that alignment which we spoke about last week. So for example, when it comes to happiness, let's just focus on happiness for a little bit, yeah? So we always think, I can only be happy when I get X, Y, Z. I can only be happy when I've got these things. But if you look through all the Jewish sources, again, it's saying that true happiness, yeah, is being happy with what you've got. This is a famous line. I'm sure you've heard of Ben Zoyim Omer. It's from Pirkei Avos, from Ethics of the Fathers. Who is truly rich? Who is truly wealthy? Forbes 100. You know, everyone wants to be on the Forbes. Steve, you want to be on the Forbes one day? Like, no, maybe, maybe not. Like, okay, fine, but okay, yeah, ish. Okay, so the world sees, you know, the value of money is how many zeros are after that one. Yeah. So there's a beautiful line someone once said, you know, that zero is the idea of bitul, of nullification. So they say the secular world says who's rich? The one who's got the most amount of zeros after their name, after their one. You've got one. How many zeros you got after is the richest person. Whereas from this beautiful Torah perspective, the real rich person, right, is the one who's got the most amount of zeros before the one. How much nullification? How much of a humility do you have? How much humility do you have before the one? That's how rich you truly are. It's a beautiful idea, yeah? Anyway, so who is rich? Who rejoices in what? Whatever you've got in life, you've been given amazing things. Yes, you've been given challenges. We've all been given mental challenges in our lives, but that's part of the process for us to grow. Here's another great source that kind of brings this out. This is from the morning blessings. You say in the morning, which means source of all blessing are you, Hashem, Master Universe, who has given me everything I need. Really? So let's say someone who's like, you know, living in some bedsit somewhere who's got like no money in the bank account. Can they really say that bracha? Yeah, you can, because ultimately you've got everything you need right now internally. You have a soul, you have a connection that can come at any time. And from that will flow all of your happiness. That's why you'll find some of the happiest people I've ever met. I'll tell you this now straight out. This isn't one of these like, yeah, Rabbi, whatever you say, you know, but I'm telling you now wholeheartedly, some of the happiest people that I've ever met are people who don't have really hardly any money at all. Literally just poor people that are some of the happiest people. Has anyone here been to South Africa before? I know Emily and Serena definitely have been, that's for sure, right? But, you know, there's a few of you, and Steve, yeah, Steve, Rhino, etc., right? But one of the things that blew me away when I went to South Africa, and again, I spent a while in Nepal as well, the same idea. And you come to some of these, for want of a better word, third world countries, and you see the people who have literally nothing, but they are so happy. Serena, do you remember that? It's an amazing thing to see. Well, how does that work? Hold on a second. Like, they haven't got Apple Watches. So how can they be happy? I don't get that. Like, they haven't got the Oakleys, and they haven't got the Apple Watches, and they haven't got the iPhones. They've just got like literally outside toilets, and they've got nothing. Because ultimately they're happy with what they've got. They realize they've got everything they need. And the struggles and strains of life are part of that. So this last quote here is another one. When the infinite has given you a large amount of possessions, do not forget to be thankful even for minor items given to you. Because ultimately there is just so much good in our lives. Everywhere we look, there's good things around. There's amazing things around. So here we go, guys. We have to, in our life, start looking and start feeling and start actually kind of experiencing what this means to go from outside in to inside out, and start seeing that what I've got right now, what I have already is valuable and is the key and answer to all my happiness in my life. And this is a journey. This is a journey we all have to go on. We have to start living a life which is a little bit different to what we've been used to till now, and start seeing that and noticing it, and noticing like you know, when I asked you at the beginning of the class, then what is it you're looking for? You're looking, what do you need? What do you want? But the truth is, if we stop for a few seconds and actually just ask ourselves right now, what do you have? So we're going to do a little meditation right now. Okay, just bear with me. We're going to do a 5-minute meditation, something a little bit deeper. We're going to do this again, okay? So come with me, guys, a little journey. Okay, you guys ready for this? Let's go back again. I promise you, David, I do this, okay? So I'll be finishing like 5 minutes, something like that, guys. Okay, we're finishing 5 minutes, right? So just kind of just sit back, relax. Sit back, relax, just feel relaxed. Okay, let's take a big deep breath in through your nose. You know, I'm going to try something a bit different here, guys. I'm going to try something a bit different. Let's see if this works. Does that work, having the music and the voice at the same time, or does it come out really bad? Emily?
It's a little bit tinny. What we
it's really tinny.
We could put ourselves on mute and play the music on our own.
That's fine, don't worry about it. It's cool. I just realized it's fine. One day we will all be together. And I won't have to do this over Zoom really soon, I'm hoping. Okay, guys, just relax. Big deep breath in through your nose. Again, feel the colder air coming in. Hold for a few seconds and then breathe out again. Breathing in. And then breathing out again. Beautiful. Just come to a calm place. There's nowhere to rush to, nowhere to go to. Just notice, like I said, the colder air coming in. Hold for a few seconds, then breathe out again. Just notice the warmer air coming out. Notice your body against the chair. Feet against the floor. Just any smells in the room. Taste in your mouth. Really present in this moment right now. Just be aware of the room around you, the wall in front of you, the wall behind you, to your right, to your left, ceiling above you, the floor behind, underneath you. Really aware and present. And just feel really calm. Tips of your toes, moving up from the tips of your toes, slowly, slowly, your legs, your right arm, your left arm, your tummy, your chest, your back, your upper neck, shoulders, ears, chin, mouth, nose, eyes, top of your head. It feels really warm and heavy and relaxed. And in this place where we kind of melt away the externality, we melt away the pull of physicality, just be really present in this wonderful moment here. And in doing so, I want you to think right now of one thing that you have, something that you have, which isn't a possession, which isn't necessarily something which you can touch, which isn't something that you can deposit in the bank, something that you have that you feel really happy about. Something which you can rejoice with and feel happy about. Something that's part of you, something that you have that you can be happy with. Maybe it's something you've done. Maybe it's a dream or something you want to do. Maybe it's an aspiration. Maybe it's a memory. Maybe it's a character trait that you're really proud of that you have. And just be there for a minute or two. Just feel really warm and happy and glowing, knowing that you've got this something really special inside of you. Something that's yours. Something that's yours, something that you love. And if you're struggling through it and you can't find, just relax and just be present at the moment. And if there isn't something there at the moment, and that could be the case, maybe there's something at another moment, then just think of anything that maybe in the past 24 hours that happened to you that you're happy with, that something that just makes you proud, something that makes you feel, gives you a good feeling. And just be aware that you have everything you need to lead a happy and focused life inside you right now. I'll say that again. We're going vertical, we're not going horizontal. You're going inside out, not outside in. You have everything you need. Yes, with all the things in your life that aren't perfect, all the things in your life that are difficult, all the things in your life that are struggling with, that are troublesome, you have everything in your life that you need. You have it within you right now to lead a happy life, to be happy and to be satisfied. And just be really, really happy just about that. And how do I know that? Because I know that Hashem gave you your soul. And Hashem decided that your soul was the perfect soul for you. I know that Hashem decided that your soul was the perfect soul to come down to this world to do the fixings that it needs to fix in this world right now. So you've really got everything that you need. Just the journey of life is a journey where we're coming to learn how to unpack our toolbox and discover how to use all the various different tools. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't have to be anywhere else. You have everything you need right now. Take a big deep breath in through your nose. Hold for a few seconds and then breathe out again. Just be happy and present in that moment. One more time, big deep breath in. And then breathe out again. Now, whenever you're ready, just gently tap yourself, come back into the room, come back and be present. Beautiful. Was that hard for people? Was that good for people? Was that easy for people? I'm intrigued to know. Maybe just everyone's just enjoying themselves. Everyone had like a nice time. Everyone enjoyed themselves.
It was good.
It was hard.
Not hard, no.
Did anyone actually surprise themselves and actually find that they actually found something there they didn't know they had? And like, wow, actually, gosh, there's something I haven't you found something inside of you that maybe you've ignored for a while, that you've overlooked for a while. That's actually, oh, gosh, like, forgot about that. That's amazing. I love that. Like, I'm really proud of that.
So Rabbi, not quite in that vein, but I've had an injury for about 6 weeks. So yesterday I was exercising with no pain, and it's amazing like how you can sort of relate to like your body functioning when you've been restricted from using it, to actually appreciating that the good feeling of being able to like reach some good goals or whatever without that sort of restriction or pain. So I think that's what I was thinking about.
Amazing. Thanks, Leafy. Thanks for sharing.
I think that I've met people in my life who have had a very difficult life or terrible tragedy in their life, and they're really happy. And I think happiness is a choice that you need to make. At the end of the day, you've only got so many days on the earth, and you need to kind of be positive. And so I think I'm just going to like try and choose happiness. I mean, it's very easy to like get annoyed about stuff. I was furious about a parking ticket today, but just need to choose happiness.
Yeah, and this is like, no one should walk out of tonight's class saying, wow, I don't make it sound really easy. This is what we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks, okay? We're going to work on this. This is like the place we're going to go about learning how to make choices, learning how to activate our bechira, learning how to activate our free will to make the choices that we want in our lives. Because we want to be free of anxiety. We want to be free of fear. We want to be free of all those things that are holding us back. And we want to move away from the paradigm we've had in our lives today, which is that can only be from something outside and it can't be something inside. You can let yourself out. You know, the famous story, I'll end with this today. Next week we'll get into, I didn't get a chance to because it's late, it's 10:20. I'm going to finish now, but But there's a famous paradigm about a guy who goes to a hotel and he rings down to the reception. They're like, yeah, can I help you? And he's like, yeah, I can't get out of my room. And they're like, well, why not? He said, well, I can't get out. And they're like, well, go to the door and open the door. And he said, but I can't leave the room. And they're like, well, we don't understand. Like, why can't you? Like, we'll send the locksmith up, we'll send the people up. But like, we're so sorry, sir. Like, you can't leave the room. He's like, no, I really can't leave the room. And it's like, are you sure you can't leave the room? And he's like, yeah, I really can't. I'm stuck in this room right now in my hotel room. So we're so sorry. We can't believe that. They send up the team, the locksmith and everyone. And they come to the door and it opens very easily. And they're like, there's no fault with the door. What's going on? And so the man says, well, look, I'm in the hotel here and I looked on the door and there's a sign on the door that says, do not enter. Like, do not disturb. It had like one of those signs, when you go to a hotel, like, do not come in. He said that was on the door, so I couldn't leave. In other words, do you know what I'm talking about? When you go to a hotel and it says like, I'm sleeping, do not enter, right? So the guy had that on his door on the inside. He thought that like he couldn't actually open the door and leave his hotel room. So for so many of us, we don't realize the door's there to be open. We just we don't even appreciate that we can open it for ourselves.
Can I say something really quickly?
Go for it, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking the choice about happiness. Happiness is a mitzvah, because if you think about it, all of the good that comes from people in the world are people who are happy. Like, and all of the evil does come from people who are unhappy. I don't think anyone that like organizes genocides are happy in themselves. Like, I think it can be that simple in terms of human behavior, right?
Right. I mean, the first I think is a very powerful idea. We have to speak what it means to be mitzvah gedolah liot b'simcha, what it means. But we have to appreciate what true happiness is, Yeah, and I think what you're saying is, again, most people out there who are hurting and causing pain to other people is, because they have not experienced happiness. They have not experienced simcha. They have not experienced what it truly means. Like Rav Kook said, that beautiful line from Rav Kook, right? The thought that happiness is dependent on external things, if you're on this grass, is false. Because true happiness, says Rav Kook in another place, which I'll bring for you next week, is the true happiness of knowing that there's a God that created the world, that feels the world, that loves you and cares for you and wants only the best for you. There's nothing more happy than that in the world. We'll come back to another week. Guys, I just want to say to you, I hope this has been helpful. We're opening a door here. We're opening a door to something very deep. Now, I didn't get into today talking about journaling, because that's going to be a whole new thing. But we're going to have to do this starting from next week. We'll start with it next week, because what I would like to do is for the last 2 weeks is set you guys some tasks for journaling tasks, which is going to be just kind of being aware of more about what's going on in our lives and looking for the goodness in our lives. So we'll touch that next week. We'll get there next week. In the meantime, what I would say to you is for the next 7 days till we meet again next week, till we get next Wednesday night, I would just say to you, if you can, as you're going through the week around you, just focus, just catch yourselves. And by the way, if you want to write me a WhatsApp, if it happens, I would love it. And if you ask me, I'll keep it totally anonymous. But if you catch yourself getting to a state of mind where something on the external is causing you problems, something externally is causing you issues, and then you catch yourself when you say, hold on a second, I can make a choice right now whether I want to respond in a good way or a bad way, and I'm going to choose to respond in a good way. That's called inside out instead of outside in. You're making a choice already to go with the inside out instead of the outside in. So guys, go for the next week and start practicing inside out rather than outside in, and see where you get to in the next week. And next week we'll go further, we'll go deeper. We're talking next week, if I'm not mistaken, about being kind and self-judgment, about not judging yourself in a negative way and not judging other people also in a negative way, and just showing actual self-judgment and self-compassion. That's going to be next week. So that's exciting times. I hope to see you next week at 9:10. Soul Fitness. Gang, thank you so much, everybody. It's late. I'm sorry we went a bit later today. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you, Rabbi Dov.
Mon plaisir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dov.
Put your videos on again now.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Bye, everyone. Good to see
Thanks,
you.
Robert.
Oh, wait, did you share the source sheet?
Oh, I will do it now. I'll stick a thing on and share it if you want. I'll stick it somewhere. I'll find someone to do it. Justin, hi. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Oh, just about to introduce you.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, there's Justin. I don't know who Justin is, but nice to meet you, Justin. Hi. I'll share the source sheet on the Soul Fitness WhatsApp group. Is that cool?
Thank you.
I know where it's nice. Justin, lovely to meet you, my man. Hi. And your friend of David, obviously, friend of ours.
Thank you.
Dov, I'll put you in contact.
Put us in contact. Yeah, definitely. Hope that nice seeing you face always.
Thank you.
How do you know David?
We went on Birthright together.
Okay, very cool. Lovely. Julia, I know you're not there, but you are there. So it's good to have you. Your picture's there. It's lovely to have you. Welcome, Julia. How are you?
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. It was very. Will you send us the recording? Because I would love to listen to it once again.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I apologize to you all that there's a lot of backlogging going on with recording because just there's been so much going on. But I'll get the recordings going. And there's also one more thing. The Soul Fitness Meditations, again, very, very proud of the fact that it just hit 1,000 downloads, which is amazing. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to them, they're being listened around the world. India, Philippines, no jokes, Serena, I'm not joking. I've got people listening in Jamaica, Brazil, Colombia. I've got a bit of a following in Romania. I don't know why, but they listen to them and enjoy. And Natasha Orchin, it's so nice to finally have Natasha back in the class with us after a very long time. So welcome back, Natasha. I hope you're well. I hope you found that helpful. We're going to the inside out, guys. We're moving away from outside in. And Daria, keep enjoying Italy and bring some sunshine, send some sunshine our way if you can. Okay, guys. Ciao, ciao. Speak to you all soon.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
See you.
Bye. Ciao. Bye. Bye.